Walking into the Brooklyn Museum's Egyptian art galleries is a chance to see thousands-year-old artifacts and sculptures, many of which have lost their noses. Specialists revealed the sinister truth behind why so many Egyptian statues don't have noses anymore. Hello everyone! In this video, we will talk about the annals of ancient Egypt to uncover a perplexing mystery that has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. Egyptian statues' noses were shattered at some point, a minor detail. What happened to the noses? Is the Brooklyn Museum's most frequently asked question. Edward Blaberg polled CNN in March 2019. After all, these statues have withstood wars, severe weather, and extended trips to numerous museums. Blaberg's research shows denosing's complex causes. If so many experts hadn't wished to study noses, the research might never have been done. Blaberg studied the art of the time and was trained to image sculptures when they were initially erected, so it's surprising he didn't spot such an obvious omission. Some statues, especially those with big noses, may have been damaged accidentally. These must be distinguished from intentionally disfigured ones by an expert. This also explains noseless, flat Egyptian images. Egypt's monuments survive. Egyptian civilization invented farming, medicine, and the Great Sphinx of Giza, a noseless figure. Greek and Asian mythology include the Sphinx. Legend claims it was human-headed. But the torso of a lion was a symbol of protection for the Egyptians. It often wore a headdress just like a pharaoh would. There's even a 2-mile road between temples in Karnak and Luxor that's known as Sphinx Alley because it has so many Sphinx statues. In fact, there are several Egyptian sphinxes that have become particularly famous. One is made of alabaster and was found in the Egyptian city of Memphis, where there's a temple from the Renaissance. Another is one of the world's largest statues. This sphinx is 66 feet tall and 10,240 feet long. Its construction is unknown. The Great Pyramid and Sphinx were built by Pharaoh Khufu and his son, Khafre. A series of sculptures, including the Sphinx, a limestone sculpture that bears Khafre's face with remnants of crimson that imply it was colored at one point. Some scholars say the complex of pyramids and statues was supposed to convince the gods to resurrect him after he died. Anil Barras, another French specialist, found the Sphinx temple, which resembled the Valley Temple, in the early 20th century. In the 1980s, archaeologists discovered that the leftovers may have supplied the Sphinx's limestone. The Sphinx's stone came from channels dug around it. Experts believe several workers left because it was a hard job. Unfinished quarries, tools, and an abandoned lunchbox indicate a hurried departure. Researchers estimate that a 100-person staff would have taken years to build the Sphinx. The Sphinx's Egyptian name is another mystery. The Greek Sphinx wasn't used until 2 millennia later because Horus was Khafre's most popular god. Harmaset may have meant Horus on the horizon. The statue's importance declined over time. Thutmose, an Egyptian prince, slept by the statue. During this time, the Sphinx's limestone corroded and its beard and headdress broke. It was submerged in sand again and wasn't uncovered until the early 19th century, when just the head was visible and the Sphinx's nose was strangely missing. The initial Sphinx burial failed. Since the Arab conquest of Egypt in the 7th century, Islam has ruled Egypt and is opposed to idolatry, which is the creation and worship of paintings or statues of sacred figures. There are pictures of a noseless statue before Napoleon arrived in Egypt, indicating that it was destroyed earlier. This caused the destruction of ancient Egyptian religious statues, which were spiritually significant. The Egyptians sculpted gods and men for spiritual purposes. It meant they could inhabit the statue, while an effigy of a person who died could be used to preserve their soul. Artwork would be placed in tombs as well to help the dead receive offerings from the living. Egyptian art has a unique style that sets it apart from later works by the Greeks and Romans. It has a certain level of abstraction that makes it look not quite natural, though with the images being formal and blocky. Of course, the art made to rest in tombs wasn't. Pharaohs were pictured presenting to deities. Statues were so significant that their destruction was more than just vandalism. It disrupted the link between people and gods and prevented deities, or human souls, from inhabiting them. A deity statue without ears could not hear pleas, since each section of the statue functioned like a real person. They leave sinisterly. A statue without a nose cannot breathe, killing its soul. This was a means to kill an opponent or defend a grave robber from the furious ghost whose tomb he was plundering. An arm could be removed to prevent a statue from delivering or receiving contributions. Historians found it in disfigured prehistoric mummies. To defeat opponents, soldiers were encouraged to mutilate wax models before battle. Some pharaohs even outlawed self-degrading statues. Removing images of their ancestors showed their authority and changed history. Misogyny nearly wiped out Nefertiti and took Shepset's pictures. Erasing connections to a past ruler could resolve succession issues or delete an unpopular pharaoh. A Canadian destroyed images of the Godaman so he could declare the sun god to be the main deity of the Egyptians, but his son Tutankhamun restored them to prominence, and images of Akhenaten, his wife, and his god were all eradicated instead, leading the Egyptians to go to great lengths to protect their important images. Many sculptures featured three-sided defenses. Priests sacrificed via a few eye openings in a wall. The Egyptian statue dismantling required precision chisel strokes and practice. In some cases, inscriptions were broken, so the perpetrators had to read to determine which engravings to deface, which is why certain sculptures were disfigured, but others were not. Later, Christians considered statues to be pagan demons to be destroyed, while Muslims didn't think they had any power. In the 7th century, Muslims conquered Egypt and repurposed antique sculptures to build new temples, with ancient iconography still present in medieval Cairo, revealing how each generation viewed statues differently. Each wants to disfigure and ruin them. That's it for today. What do you think about this incredible discovery? Let us know in the comments section. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates.